Welcome back, artists. Today we are going to start using our flower loom by adding our warp string and also starting with the weaving part of it. You're going to take your warp string that you got and you're going to place it at the top. The end is going to go to the back. And I'm going to slide it down to where it's just a slit so it will stay there. And I'm going to tape the back down with just a piece of tape. Now to begin, we are going to count to our 8th petal. So this is like our 8th slat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to be a little bit over halfway. We're going to go down that slat. And then we're going to go over to the neighbor's house. And we have to go to the 8 side. Because this is 7, we have to go to the 8 side so that we end in the right spot. So I'm just going to go from the back. I'm going to go next door and through the next slat. And then I'm going to make this, I'm going to run across the street and make the skinniest X in the world. So I'm not going to go here, right? Because that doesn't make an X. I'm not going to go over here because that's not the skinniest one. This is the skinniest X in the world. So then I'm going to slide this down in here. So I have done my first one. You're going to rotate. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go next door. Run across the street to make the skinniest X in the world. And then we rotate, so we're always working at the bottom. We're going to go to the right, next door. Run across the street and make the skinniest X in the world. And we're just going to keep on doing this all the way around. And here I'm getting the last one on this side. I run across the street. And then I come back. And I have a little bit of string left over. And this is what I'm going to use to start weaving my weft. The strings that hold the weaving together, these are called the warp strings. This is going to become part of a warp string, but then it's going to turn into the weft, which is the part that goes over and under the warp strings and starts to lock it together. So you can do this without a needle, but I find it much easier with a needle. So I'm going to thread my needle, I'm going to fold, pinch, and then wiggle it on. I'm not going to tie it or anything, I'm just going to hold it with my fingers, and I'm going to go to the top, and then I'm going to decide which direction I want to weave in. It doesn't matter how you start, but once you start, you have to kind of always go in that same direction. So if this is where I'm starting, I'm going to go to my right, so I'm going to go over, under, over, under, over, under. I'm going to put the needle through, and then I'm going to pull. And this first round, it's going to be really hard to tell where you are. So you want to kind of keep it out. See how if I pull this way back, I can't even tell which ones I went under. So I want to slide it over a little bit. This is where I was under. So then I'm going to start over, under, over, under, over, under, And as I start to work my way around, I can start to pull this more towards the center. See how I'm kind of working that down with my finger? And now when I pull this up, I can see, or maybe I need to slide it back. So this is the last one I went under. So then I'm gonna go over, under, over, under. And now that I have made it around once, and you'll find that the string might get caught in your petals. So you just have to take your time and be patient. Now that I have made it around once, it'll be easier to see because your weaving will be on top. But the trick is to pull. See, when I pull this up, I can see that this is the one I was under last. So I'm going to go over this one, under, over, under, over. I'm just going to continue until I've used up all of my warp string.